Hi everybody, my name is Jessie and I do perfume reviews in ASMR format. So if you like perfume and also if you enjoy ASMR, you are in a good place for our video today. Today I'm going to review this fragrance by Issey Miyake, and this is called A Drop de Issey. And this version is called Fraîche, Eau de Parfum Fraîche. So there was an original A Drop de Issey, which I also own, that fragrance. It's just in the clear liquid, clear bottle. And as you can see, that's a bigger size. And then this was the second flanker, second edition. This one's called A Drop d'Issey Eau de Parfum Fraîche. As you can see, it might be a little hard to tell, but the bottle is actually blue and green. It's kind of blue fading into green. So I really love these bottles. The only issue is that they don't stand up, so you just kind of have to sit them on your vanity or wherever you have your perfumes. I wish they had like a base or like a little stand or something, but that's okay. But I do love just the actual look. The top part makes a great tapping sound. It's like a slightly soft, almost rubbery plastic. Here's my kitty, Lionel. So the reason that I wanted to review this fragrance is because I actually wore it 2 days ago. So it's really fresh in my mind what it smells like. So I'm not even going to spray it today because I can smell it from here and I wore it 2 days ago. So I don't even need to spray it. So we'll go ahead and review this fragrance, and then also I will just briefly touch on the original Drop d'Issey because I also really like this fragrance and I have the lotion of it. And then I'll also just briefly touch on the other Issey Miyake fragrance that I have, which is called Pleats Please Low. So I'll just briefly touch on that. Okay, so as always, I dressed on theme. I didn't have any shirts or dresses that were blue and green, but I just wore this green dress, kind of like natural linen looking. And then I've got these blue earrings, which I thought were good because they look like raindrops almost. And this fragrance is supposed to evoke like kind of like fresh rain is the vibe when you look at the notes. So yeah, we'll go over those in a second. Okay, so let's first start with the main accords. Alright, so I'm going to read these off Fragrantica. We've got main accords of aquatic, floral, fresh, ozonic, and woody. So I definitely get the aquatic, fresh, little bit floral, a little bit ozonic. It's not really woody, but there are some woody type notes in here. I think what it's missing is like a musk accord, or maybe even a powdery accord. Like it is fresh and watery and aquatic, but it's also almost a touch powdery. It's more so musky, I would say. So yeah, let's look at the notes next. It's got some interesting notes. So we have just one top note, and it is called Rain Notes. So it's trying to evoke the scent of rain. Now, you might be familiar with the term petrichor, which is sort of that smell of when rain hits the earth and kind of the smells of that, or sometimes even when rain hits the blacktop or asphalt, so it can kind of have like an earthy, minerally type smell. This, I would say, is not fully, it's in maybe just a touch of that, but it's really more so the aquatic. It's not super earthy, it's really not super minerally. It does have a bit of that rain vibe, but more so in a fresh way. Like if you just think of the actual raindrops themselves, if that makes sense. It's not really too dirty or too mossy or too earthy. Or like it doesn't really smell like asphalt or blacktop. I have smelled some fragrances that have more of that kind of vibe, which those are interesting too. So I'm definitely getting this sort of rain vibe from this. Fresh, but in kind of a natural outdoorsy way. And then for our middle notes, we've got 3 middle notes. So one of these is watery notes. So again, kind of similar to the rain notes, but the watery notes. So just another aquatic, watery, fresh type smell. So I don't know if I could say I'm getting more of the rain or the water. I'm just getting those notes though. And then we've got 2 florals in here. We've got lilac and damask rose. So rose and lilac. The original Drop to Issey is a lilac based fragrance as well. And so they continued the trend with this one. I really appreciate that because I have said that part of my beef, part of my struggle with flankers sometimes is that they go in a such different direction that they don't really have anything in common. This does have something in common. It has the lilac, so I like that. So I'm definitely getting lilac and a touch of rose, I would say. So if you're someone who's kind of uncertain about lilac, because it can be a kind of vintage smell, I feel like this is a really nice modern fresh lilac, as well as this one. I'll talk about this in a sec too, but these are both like, you can smell the lilac, but I think it comes through in a really approachable way. So yeah, I'm getting all of those middle notes. And then for our base notes, we have 3 base notes. And they are Dreamwood. So Dreamwood is a synthetic note, and the description on Fragrantica says sandalwood-like, creamy, warm, comfortable, woodsy. So I think it's, yeah, kind of like a creamy, fluffy, warm, yeah, comfortable smell. If that's whatever I'm picturing, I'm definitely getting that, because even though this is a very fresh, aquatic, rainy, watery scent, it's also very warm, very warm. So it's like a warm rain, which is really nice. Not too sharp, and not too cool tone. And then the second base note we have is Ambrox Super, which that's a synthetic musk, probably similar to Ambroxan, kind of like a woody ambery musk. I'm getting that vibe as well. And then lastly we have Virginia Cedar, which maybe I just would say I get like a touch of something like that, but it's really not like a woody fragrance. It's more of a musky, warm, cloud-like, mossy, sort of a slightly mossy sort of vibe, if that makes sense. So yeah, overall I am getting pretty much all of those notes, so it kind of makes sense to my nose. On Fragrantica, people are saying they mostly get lilac, watery notes, rain notes, dreamwood, Ambrox Super, cedar, then rose. That's kind of about similar to what I would say. Yeah, most notably the like rain and water notes, lilac, and the dreamwood is what I'm getting. So yeah, So before we go over some other info on this and read reviews, just wanted to touch next on the original A Drop d'Issey. This bottle here. So this one is also a lilac fragrance, and it's a bit different. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and smell from the hand cream because I'll be able to smell it better. So I got this in a set at TJ Maxx. That's so nice. Okay, so this is definitely different vibe, but it does have the lilac in common. And it comes through in a fresh way, but different. So they're both like fresh lilac scents, but they're definitely different. So what makes this one different is it has an almond milk note, which I definitely do get. It kind of has like a creamy, slightly nutty powderiness to it. This also has solar notes, so it's kind of fun. This one is like the solar warm one, and this one's like the fresh watery one, but also warm as well. So it's kind of fun. You've got like the elements. This also has rose and some other florals, lilac of course. And then in the base we've got some similar notes. We've got the cedar, the ambroxan, musk, and vanilla. So to me this is a powdery lilac with like a warmth and an almond, creamy almondness to it. There's also a star anise note, which kind of again gives it a little bit of warmth. So this one I would say is even a little bit more lilac dominant, but I really like it. I like lilac. I don't like it if it's super vintage, old school smelling, but this one really works for me. So that's A Drop d'Issey, and then let's just briefly touch also on the other Issey Miyake fragrance that I have. I like sometimes when I do these reviews, I'm like, oh yeah, I do have 3 Issey Miyake scents. Didn't realize that. So this one's called Pleats Please Low. So it's a flanker to the Pleats Please. And I think might be a couple other in this Pleats Please line. It's got a fun cap. That's my husband sneezing. It's got a fun cap. And as you can see, green liquid and pink writing. So this is a very fresh rose. It's like a citrusy rose. It's got neroli and I think petitgrain, so it's almost like a green citrus rose. I think it's got like maybe some musk in the base as well. Very fresh, very clean smelling. Definitely spring and summer. Yeah, it's like a crisp, watery, fresh, slightly green rose. So there is that. And then just briefly wanted to mention there's a third flanker to the Drop d'Issey, the original Drop d'Issey. So this was the second one. The third one, which came out I think in 2023, is called Drop d'Issey Essential. I would really like to try this one. It's in a green bottle, and it looks like it's kind of like a green marine floral. So it has aquatic notes. I don't know if it's more so like salty seawater or more so just like kind of fresh water, but it has aquatic notes, lilac again, green notes, magnolia, and musk. So kind of like a green aquatic floral. So I'd be really interested to try that. I haven't yet. It doesn't have great ratings on Fragrantica, so not sure about that, but it looks like something that I could feasibly really enjoy, so I'm curious. So let's finish up with this fragrance. I'm just going to go over some other info. On Fragrantica, it has an overall rating of 3.81 out of 5 with 541 votes. So that's like totally mid-range, decent, not amazing, but people seem to like it. They are saying that the longevity is kind of right in the middle. Now, I wore this 2 days ago and I sprayed it like 1.5 times just on my dress or shirt, and it lasted the entire day. It lasted the entire day, and I wonder if I went to go smell my dress, if I would still smell it. So I think that's because of the musks, the like Ambrox Super and the Dreamwood. I think they really have a lot of staying powder. It's not like a super big projector. It's a fresh, slightly more intimate scent, but it did have a really good longevity, at least on my clothing. People are saying that the sillage is slightly more on the moderate, intimate side. I agree. It's not super bold. It's not super in your face, but it's not a skin scent either. Gender, people are saying it's feminine leaning, but a little bit unisex. I read it as feminine for sure, but yeah, it's touch unisex. Decent price value is what people are saying. So, yeah. Okay, let's finish up by reading a few reviews. Somebody says, it's a fresh musk without being citrus. I like it, not as much as my other perfumes, but quite well. Everyone else around me loves it though. Random people are always noticing it, and I rarely get compliments on some of my other perfumes that I enjoy more. It's a little annoying, but I now wear it when I want something easy going and likable. I think my husband did compliment this when I wore it, not the other day, but at some point. So what I would say about this, and I've said it in other videos where I've touched on this fragrance, is that it does have a bit of a synthetic vibe. Like, it doesn't really smell like anything real, even though it's obviously evoking kind of natural type scents like rain notes and watery notes, but it doesn't really smell actually natural, if that makes sense. So I still like it, but it doesn't smell quite natural. Somebody says, I bought this for my mother and I wish I bought it for myself. It smells so lovely. The aquatic with the florals is a wonderful blend. I do think it's a bit overpriced though. Okay, somebody else says, firstly, it's very Issey Miyake like. Forest clearing with a waterfall insight after a heavy spring rain, a fresh aquatic with a tiny bit of rose. I don't get any lilac, unfortunately. Offensive, inoffensive, and safe, nothing remarkable. The original is way better, and if we're talking Issey aquatics, I think L'eau d'Issey Pure Eau de Toilette is a better choice. So I have smelled the original L'eau d'Issey, which was launched a very long time ago. I think like in the 90s. I don't really like that fragrance personally, but I haven't really smelled a lot of the flankers to it, so I'm not sure. I just don't really like the original L'eau d'Issey. That's just me. I do get a touch of lilac in here, but it's not that strong. I definitely get more lilac in the first drop to Issey. Okay, let's read one more. Let's find somebody who does not like this and see what they have to say. So, somebody says, these kind of fragrances are not my thing. And boy, I was right. It's truly awful cheap, kind of fruity, even sweet ozonic fragrance. Nothing to do with Issey Miyake's level of fragrance blending. Smells like teenage girls when they use those cheap, sickly, sweet sprays from Superdrug. It definitely does smell. It's a fun fragrance. Like, it's not like super mature, super Like, I wouldn't recommend that you wear this to an important business meeting. Like, definitely not. You know what I mean? But it's fun. It's fresh. It's a little different. I've never smelled something quite like it. It's a freshie, but in a very unique way. So that's what I would say about both of these. They're unique. I really like both of these. So that's why I'm curious to try the third flanker as well. Okay, everybody, so that is my review of Issey Miyake, a Drop de Issey Eau de Parfum Fraîche. Okay, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.